Hey again, YouTube people. Just a quick little comparison video, continuing on with my bargainmusician.com Les Paul. This is the just a few things I forgot in the last video, and those are epiphones. I just want to kind of give you a quick comparison, little details, things I forgot in the last one. Okay, let's get started, I guess. What I forgot about this guitar was to talk about the weight and the specs of this guitar that the website says. So the website says that this is a solid mahogany body, mahogany neck, rosewood fingerboard, spalted maple top, but they don't say it's real, it's veneer, what. They say Alnico 5 pickups. There's nothing about the weight. Now, first thing I noticed when I took this out of the box is it's a decent weight. I was expecting super light, cheap feeling, or maybe even heavy. But yeah, this is great. It's got a great feel. It weighs about as much as this Epiphone Les Paul Standard Plus Top. And I'm not quite sure. Yeah, just a hair lighter, but maybe it's because of the way I'm holding it. Oh yeah, weighs the same, which is cool. I'm not sure what that guy weighs. This one is heavy as fuck. I weighed this a while back. It was just over 11 pounds. This is lighter, and this is the same. So, while I took them out and had to make another video, I'll just give you a quick rundown. Then when I do the sound one, we'll do a comparison with those guys and this guy. So I already told you about this one. If you haven't seen it, check out the other video. There's only one. I just started this. It's my first video. Also about that, I guess I will be doing a YouTube channel, and I haven't done anything. I've done my own music recordings and stuff like that, but I've never done any video editing. So I wanted to get into that and also mess around with music videos, that kind of thing. So bear with the quality and all that stuff. I'll be figuring it out soon. As for sound quality, I've got my mics, I've got a Focusrite Scarlett. Sound demos are going to be on, but to sync them with the video and to edit my videos and cut and stop and paste and screw around, that's something I haven't done yet, so it'll be a learning process for me. Maybe we'll do some videos of that and learn as we go along. Okay, so that was this guitar. I may as well go in order that I've got these and tell you all about them. This guitar is an Epiphone Les Paul Standard. I bought this in 2006, second-hand from the music shop where I live, and I paid $450 out the door with the case and with a hard shell case and the guitar, and it had the stock Epiphone, everything, the Alnico 2 pickups, the 57 CH and the Hot CH. They sounded great. I put my EMGs in them and I loved it right away. But then I started playing in a bar band, doing a lot of everything from 50s to now, and I don't know if it was the pickups or the pots that came with those pickups, but I didn't have a lot of control over the volume and stuff, so I couldn't roll back my volume at all. It was just full on, it was loud. It had a lot, it's not for a bar band. EMGs, if you're a metal guy, that's what they're for. So I ended up taking them out and I went back to my stock pickups. Then what I did was I upgraded the capacitors. I put in Russian paper and oil caps. With I changed the stock wiring to 50s wiring. I put in the stock pickups, and I changed the caps to, I think the neck was 0.015 and the bridge was 0.022. Sounded amazing. I loved it. What I didn't like about it was that although they're great pickups and everything, the bridge pickup just didn't have the clarity that Hot CH, I don't know if it's all of them or what, but it's just a little not there. So I had I have all kinds of recordings. I've done sound clips of swapping pickups and pots and caps. Maybe I'll do like I said, when I do some video editing, I'll have like a slideshow video and I'll run those through, and you can hear all the different pickups and pots and stuff that I have in these guitars. So right now, so from there, then I went to CTS pots. I got a wiring kit from eBay, way overpriced. And let me tell you something about CTS pots. Maybe it's just hype. Maybe it was just the ones I got, but I think they're junk. They did improve the sound. They were a lot louder. They improved the sound. But as soon as I installed them, when I was pushing my knobs back on, they pushed the shaft of the pot through the pot and pried open the little tabs that hold it together. And I've constantly had issues with that. I'm constantly unsoldering it, pulling it apart, squishing it back together. I put it all back, I put the thing in, and it would snap again. Right now, so what I ended up doing was I got another set of stock pots, wiring harness of an Epiphone Les Paul, same that was in it, plugged it all back in. So it's not 50s wiring anymore, but the caps are still Russian ones. And it sounds fine. I noticed it's a little darker again, but whatever. I also have another set of CTS pots that, in case I wanted to go back to put CTS pots and all that in, but I don't care right now. I had a long story. Let's keep this short. These are Gibson Burstbucker Pros I ended up putting in here, and at first I didn't like them. I thought they were bright. They were really bright and bitey. They had a great sound. Did it sound like a Gibson? No, but yes. Could have been the pots. Did a setup on it. Then it either grew on me, my ears got used to it, or they changed. Because they still have the same sound, but they're not so harsh anymore. And yeah, I left them in. Looks cool. They're the chrome nickel covers, whatever they are. Yeah, and that's that guitar. It's really heavy. It was a bitch to play. We played a lot, and it wears on the shoulder. It does. So, yeah, this is a Cherry Burst. It's basically all stock now, except for the pickups. This is a different switch, I think, but it's still an Epiphone switch. The caps are Russian, that's it. The knobs I changed because the black ones look great on this, and these were the stock knobs that came on this guitar, but it looks better on that one. The neck, it's exactly the same as this guy, and now that I'm playing them side by side, this one actually feels like it's smaller up here. It might actually be the same. It's got the gloss It's gloss on the back. This is all, it's a matte finish. Satin, it's like very satiny. It's very smooth to play. I'm gonna love that. And I put strap locks on it. Yeah, that's it. I've had this for quite a while. It's been great. Looks beautiful. That's her. Next, we've got an Epiphone Les Paul Standard Plus Top. I got a great deal on this. I got it in a trade. I told the guy to keep all the electronics, the pickups, everything. I just wanted the guitar. So he gave me the guitar plus these tuners. I don't know what they are, if they're knockoffs, if they're what. They don't say anything on them. They feel kind of cheap. Probably eBay specials, who knows. The bridge sucked on this. It had a rattling saddle. So I ended up buying a new stop piece and bridge. I had these Wilkinson. These are Wilkinson WVHZs I got from eBay. Very cheap, but because I'm in Canada, shipping was different. It ended up being about $40 for the set. These sound great. They're supposed to be. These are I think they're ceramic because they're most likely the Chinese ones. But I've compared them to. I had a Seymour Duncan 59, and I still have a Duncan SH5 custom. And at one point I had them in this guy with the 59 and the Duncan and the custom in the bridge. And I compared them, recording the sound demos, up against these two, and they sound identical. So what I did was I sold that 59. I kept these. That sounds just like an SH5, and that sounds just like a Seymour Duncan 59, and it's $40 for the set. So Wilkinson WVHZ. They're supposed to be replicating the Alnico 2 slash sound. That's why I stuck them in here. They do it great. They're very clear, is what I noticed. That's why I'm thinking more they're ceramic, because they have a clarity to them that's not, you know, you get that warm organic Alnico 2 sound. These they sound identical, but they've got a hint of clarity to them. So, but it's great. The other thing that I did with this guitar, these have the CTS pots, orange drop caps. They're both 0.22s. Wilkinson's, rosewood, maple, mahogany. The nut is a bone nut that I put on right away. Didn't have the nut. See, what happened was the guy that I got this guitar from, he got it in a trade with a box of parts, and it was spray painted black. The whole guitar was spray painted black. It looked like crap. So what this guy did was he sanded it all down, sanded all that paint off, and restored it back to its finish. Though it has some dings, some pretty deep dings. There's one there. There's a few. I kind of like it because it gives it character. It's got a beautiful finish, and he did a good job. My only thing I don't like about this, okay, this one, those have the slimmer necks, both of those two. This one has the 50s neck where it's a little chunkier. At first, when I grabbed it, I was like, ooh. And then I played a little bit, and it was so comfortable. And then switching back and forth, that felt like playing a Telecaster, and this was like playing my Les Paul. Now I can go between both, and I don't feel anything. I actually preferred this guitar to that one, and that has the weight. If I was blind, I'd say that's a Gibson, and this was the Epiphone. but I prefer this one. It's lighter, it's comfortable, the neck's nice to play. Now, except the guy that had this, that spray painted all and ruined it, had a couple dings in the back of the neck, and the guy that ended up with it tried to repair those with sawdust and glue, and it didn't turn out too well. So I think he sanded it down, and this is the result. The pits are still there, and now I got a bare spot of wood here. So in the near future, that you don't notice it too much, but once your thumb hits it with a little bit of sweat, it doesn't feel right. So I'm going to give this a nice, quick, light sand, satin, polyurethane, whatever, and make it nice and smooth, feel all the same again. Yeah, so that's her. Another great guitar. Like I said, the quality of these is much better than that. As in, you pick up one of these from the store or get it out of the box, and it's a guitar you expect. I don't know, there's a lot of people saying the newer stuff and epiphones are junk and all that. Well, I think they're probably buying the very cheap stuff, like the specials and all that, like beginner entry, this thick guitar with an epiphone name on it. I've never had an issue with these. I absolutely love these. They feel like Gibsons, they sound like Gibsons, stock, with very little upgrades. They sound incredible, and I can prove it. I have the sound clips that I made myself. So with that being said, that's the three. I went over the weights, everything. Yeah, that's all stock except for the caps and the pickups. This is, I can't say it's stock because it was empty when I got it. But yeah, it's got CTS pots, orange drop caps, Wilkinson pickups, they're great. Regular old switch. I don't know what these tuners are. I prefer to have Grovers on them. I might end up changing these, getting rid of them. I might get a set of Wilkinsons or something, maybe even for this guy. We'll see how these hold up. Fretboard's a little lighter on this one. You can see the rosewood. That is much more darker. It matches this guy here. This one's still a little lighter. Yeah, I don't notice really any difference between the three necks, so that's got a good neck on it for a cheap guitar. Looks cool, pickups sound cool. It's got cheap hardware, sort of Epiphones, no big deal. Oh, another thing, the knobs on this guitar, let me switch here. The knobs on this guitar, they kind of feel like your regular old plastic Les Paul knobs, but there's something about them that they are a little extra cheap. They're a little more thinner. And also, another thing was that somebody, let's see here, you see that? Little chip in it? I've got some of those on some of these from trying to pull them off because they're so damn tight. These, they're not that tight, but somebody, you know what I think? I think this guitar was maybe hanging up in a shop somewhere, and it got played on the floor, whatever, and then they boxed it up and sold it as new. Just because of the finger dirt that's on the fretboard. And the way the frets look, they're not clean and shiny like a brand new one should be. But they're not worn or anything. yeah, so and the plastic. The plastic is very cheap looking compared to those. But again, that's stuff you don't notice. Like, you go to a bar, you see a band playing, you're like, oh, look at that guitar. That's got some cheap plastic binding on it. And whatever. It's about the sound, people. Remember that. Always DIY. That's going to be my motto for this. There's so many videos on YouTube. You can learn everything. And that's how I did it. I used to take my guitars into the shops to have pickups installed and changed, and I have a scratchy pot, and I'd pay $30 for them to what? Maybe spray it. I think they probably changed the pot, but they charge you $30 or something for that. And now you just spray it up, good as new. Yeah, I'm liking this. So, I'm going to leave with that. I kind of covered everything I wanted to cover. I am going to, later today, I'm going to take the strings off this. I'm going to clean this fretboard. I'm going to fix these posts and take the back covers off, check out the inside, and give it a quick setup. And it's probably going to be tomorrow that I'll try and get some sound demos. I don't know yet how this how my tablet's microphone is going to sound recording. I don't know if I should do it that way, or the better way is to use my mics through my Focusrite. Then I'd have to use my laptop. So sound demos on hold, but they'll be coming shortly, and until then I'll see what I can find out about this guitar, let you know. I don't work for them. I'm not sponsored by anyone, although if you want to sponsor me, go ahead. But bargainmusician.com, they have some other stuff for sale. They have these put together guitars. This is the matte black, or the flat black backer. They have another one that's spalted exactly the same like this, but the back is like a dark cherry. It looks, the pictures look exactly the same, but it's, I imagine you can see the wood green through like a dark cherry finish. But I like the feel of this. I wish they had Strats, but they do have Strat kits and Les Paul kits. Kits are completely do-it-yourself. They're about half the price if you want to go that way. Yeah, that's my 2 cents. So yeah, I probably recommend them. Like I said, if you're a stickler, if you want something perfect and you're a cork sniffer, skip it. But if you don't really care, if you want to take your chances, like I said, I got a few dings here and there, but it's not noticeable. It's not, it's whatever. You want a guitar, you spend $200-300, there you go. So I would say, I guess, with these you do get what you pay for. For a Les Paul body and Alnico 5 pickups at this price range, I don't think you could find one. I know there's some Blitz. I think Area Probe makes those. Oscar Schmidt. They're a little more expensive than these. I haven't played one. I don't know the quality, but I would say in this price range, this is an excellent deal. The best quality, cheap, awesome Les Paul that you can get, to my knowledge so far. Still a couple $100 cheaper than an Epiphone Les Paul standard, and it would hold up. It holds its own against them. So draw your own conclusions, and This video is getting a little long. The Wilkinson pickups, I recommend those too. A lot of people say they have great gear, good hardware, their pickups are good. If you're wondering about cheap pickups, good stuff. Another one is Iron Gear. They have a website, I think it's axtech.co.uk, or you can search Iron Gear. They have two sites, but they're basically exactly the same. I have a set of pig iron single coil Iron Gear pickups in one of my Strats, and they're fantastic too. And they're cheap pickups. They're Alnico 5 single coils. Awesome. So there's another recommendation. Wilkinson, Iron Gear. Yeah. Keep on DIYing.